Today we will discuss the conventional representation of lines. And what is the meaning of this conventional representation of line? And that we will discuss in detail. There are so many types which we will be using in our during the practice of this engineering drawing course. So here I am going to discuss only few type of line which are important for all of you. Let us discuss one by one. Means this is conventional representation of line. We'll show it by a tabular form. Serial number 1. Then the another one is a type of line. Then conventional representation. Conventional representation. Another important thing is the usage or application. This is very, very important. Where we are going to use it. Okay. Let us discuss one by one. The number one is continuous thick. If you are having two types of pencil, HB and H, please make it with the HB pencil. Please make it with the HB pencil. Visible parts, this is the application, visible parts or visible edges. Visible parts or visible edges. Let me show you one application of that one. Maybe we are having this object. This is the rectangular surface. This outer one. This is the continuous thick. Because these are the lines which are important. The second category of line is continuous thin. If you are having two types of pencil, again HB and H, but basically there are 18 types of pencil which are there, which we have already discussed in the last class. So if you are having only two pencil, HB and H, make use of HB pencil, this continuous thick line, and for continuous thin, make use of H pencil. So this is lighter than this one. So this is continuous thin. You'll find the application of this line, dimension line, extension line, construction line, guideline. Yesterday we talked about the how to print the letters. For that we make use of two types of line. That is the guideline. Means you will draw two lines. You are going to draw two lines, and distance may be 7 mm. And these are two lines. This is called the guideline. Similarly, another application is when we are talking about the railway track. That is also known as the guideline. And we are going to print. This is A. We are going to print A between the two guidelines. Extension line, guideline, leader line, projection line. Maximum time you are going to use it. Projection line, cross section line. This is also known as the hatching line. This is the object we are going to do the cross sectioning at an angle of 45 degrees, which we will discuss in the section of solids object. These types of line will be used in the section of solids. So this is basically a continuous thing. So these are extension, projection, project line. This is also known as. So this is more or less maximum time we will use this continuous thin. Then the third category of line is continuous thin wavy. Line will be continuous thin, but we will having waviness. Means to represent irregular surface. To represent irregular surfaces, this is known as the continuous thin wavy. Another type of line which is important is long chain thin. Long chain thin. We're having this long chain thin. And what is the distance? This is a small distance which is there. It is 1 to 2 mm. 1 to 2 mm. Then a dotted line which represent 2 to 3 mm. 2 to 3 mm. And then there is a gap of 1 to 2 mm. Again a bigger line which represent 15 to 30 mm. बच्चों एक गल का ध्यान रखियो इस तरह की लाइन दे विच देयर इज ए डेविएशन फ्रॉम 2 to 3 mm. Sometimes you draw 2 mm, sometimes you draw 3 mm. Don't do it like this one. इनू सारा दा सारा या तो 2 mm या 3 mm or similarly this 15 to 30. This is the range. You may choose 18 mm, you may take 20 mm. Means for showing this one, sometimes the students do like this one. And basically it is uniform one. If you look at here, this is better description from this one. Here, this is bigger one, this is smaller one, again smaller one, again little bit bigger, and this is the uniform. Drawing ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਇਹ ਸਿਮੈਟ੍ਰੀਕਲ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ so that it looks good. ਇਹ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆਂਦੀ ਆ? ਇਹ ਆਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਰਕੂਲਰ ਸਰਫੇਸਿਸ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ. ਸਰਕੂਲਰ ਸਰਫੇਸਿਸ ਦੀ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. That is called pitch circle diameter. Pitch circle diameter. Or maybe we are having two types of object. Let me show two types of object. You will find the importance of this one. This is the one object which is rectangular in one. This is another one. This is another one. This is also rectangular. And here if you look at here, this type of line, this is the cylindrical object, whereas this represents your rectangular object. If you don't draw it, you are saying this is a cylindrical object, means you are not making use of the conventional representation of line. So this is the cylindrical object or cylindrical surface. This is the rectangular surface. Both, if you draw both rectangle and you don't draw it, so in that case both will be rectangle, and if you draw this line, this represents the cylindrical object. This is another type of, another fifth category of line. Another fifth category of line is long chain thin but thick at the ends. This is another type of line. Long chain thin but thick at the ends. How you are going to? Means you are going to, ends will be thick. Again, same specification which are discussed here. This is called long chain thick at the ends. ये यूज कितने करते? दिस इज ऑल्सो नोन एज कटिंग प्लेन लाइन. ये कितने यूज होंगे? ये यूज होंगे है, मान लो तुहाडे दो सैक्शन ने मैकेनिकल दे ए ते बी. इस क्लास से तुसी ड्राइंग की क्लास दे विच कल्ला ए सैक्शन मेरे को आ रहा, ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਟਿੰਗ ਪਲੇਨ ਮੈਂ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਡਿਵਾਈਡ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ। ਸਿਮਿਲਰਲੀ ਇਹ ਰੂਮ ਹੈ ਸਾਡਾ, ਇਟ ਇਜ਼ ਡਿਵਾਈਡਡ ਇਨਟੂ ਟੂ ਪਾਰਟਸ। ਫॉर दैट वी कैन मेक यूज ऑफ कटिंग प्लेन लाइन। लेट मी शो ये लाइन किस तरह की है। ध्यान नाल देखियो दोनों की रिप्रजेंटेशन। गुड प्रैक्टिस की है तो बैड प्रैक्टिस की है। लेट मी एलैबोरेट ऑन दैट वन आल्सो। समटाइम्स बच्चों जिहड़ियां छोटियां लाइनां ने इन्हां ते एंड नहीं करना, बड्डियां लाइनां ते एंड करना, ते एंड थिक ने बड़े वाले। सो दिस इज गुड प्रैक्टिस। गुड प्रैक्टिस फॉर लॉन्ग चेन थिन बट थिक एंड। दिस इज पुअर प्रैक्टिस, पुअर प्रैक्टिस। Another one more important type of line which we are going to discuss, sixth category, that is ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ short dash। short dash, as the line indicates, this is short dash, short dash। फिलिंग दी ब्लैंक्स देख रहे हैं। सेम थिंग इज हेयर। शॉर्ट डैश का मतलब क्या, आह जो डिस्टेंस है ये 2 to 3 mm है। 2 to 3 mm, 2 to 3 mm। जो एक स्पेस आ रही है दैट रिप्रेजेंट 1 to 2 mm। ਇਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸ਼ਾਰਟ ਡੈਸ਼। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਾਟਡ ਲਾਈਨ ਵੀ ਬੋਲ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਡਾਟਡ ਲਾਈਨ। ਦ ਪਾਰਟਸ ਵਿਚ ਆਰ ਨਾਟ ਵਿਜ਼ੀਬਲ ਟੂ ਅਸ, ਦ ਪਾਰਟਸ which are not visible to us but are important to describe the shape of the object is known as the dotted line। Let me show you one example related to quadrants। This is a vertical plane। Basically this is the common axis। Here if you look at here, if I don't draw this dotted line for the other one, when we are talking about this dividing the quadrant into 4 parts, so I am not going to draw this dotted line। If I am going to draw that one, so this is the, similarly I can rub this one also। Here I need to draw this dotted line, here I need to draw dotted line, because if it is a common surface I can draw the dotted line here and I can draw the dotted line here। So this is the importance of that one। These quadrants will be discussed in detail in the next classes। थैंक यू वेरी मच बच्चों। एक कन्वेंशन रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ लाइन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक है। मैक्सिमम टाइम ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹੀ 6 ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਿਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਹੋਰ ਨੇ। when the time will come we will deliberate on that issue। thank you very much। ਰਿਪਰੈਜ਼ੈਂਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਆਫ ਲਾਈਨ, ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਰਦਾਰ ਹਰਮਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਡਰਾਫਟਸਮੈਨ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਅਸਿਸਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਤਜਰਬਾ ਹੈ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। 11 ਸਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੈਜਿਸਟਿਕ ਆਟੋ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇ 25 ਸਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਇਕੱਠਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਲਮੋਸਟ। ਤੇ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਟੈਂਟਸ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟਿਸ ਸੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਮੈਕਸਿਮਮ ਟਾਈਮ ਉਹ ਹੈਲਪ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਸੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਹੈਲਪ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਅੱਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਵਧੋ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਹੋਰ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ।